People love to say that English majors can't get jobs, but most English majors know the real struggle is figuring out what job to get and what path to go on with your English degree. If you're new to my channel, my name is Megan. I'm an aspiring TV writer and I have my degree in English creative writing. So today I wanted to talk about all the different things that you can do with an English major and how to kind of decide what path you want to go on. There's not one size fits all when it comes to an English degree, and there's so many different things you can do. It's really important to understand what's going to be the best path for you if you're struggling to kind of figure all of that out. Now, I mostly post about my journey into the entertainment industry now, but I have an entire playlist of videos all from when I was in college about what it was like to be an English major and different tips and advice. So if you're an English major who needs that right now, that playlist will come up right here. Let's do an exercise really quick. If none of the logistics mattered, if the money and the location, none of it mattered, what would be your dream job? What would you like to spend your days doing? Let me know in the comment section and we can all kind of discuss what our dreams would be. Before I actually talk about the tips, I want to talk about what some options are with an English major. Now, I've done a video about this before. I may have even done more than one talking about jobs you can get with an English major, but let's look at them again. You can write, and that can be novels, scripts, poetry. You can be a journalist, and there are like a million different types of those. You can be somebody who works in fashion or politics or pretty much any industry just as a journalist and a writer. You can be a freelancer with a specific niche where you're specifically writing and helping people write copy or blogs or anything they need in a niche. Then there are copy editors and copywriters, social media managers, and you've got people who work in advertising and marketing. English can be a great degree to go on that path. And then there are like a million other things you can do. Okay, now how do you actually decide what it is you want to do? If you don't have one clear passion that's pulling you and you're like, oh my gosh, I have to do this, how do you actually figure out what you should do? You just know you love language and communication and writing, but what do you want to do with it? So here's the first thing. The first thing is decide, what are you passionate about? You've got this English major, you're loving it, you're enjoying it, but what about it excites you? Is it communicating with people? Is it looking deep into literature and classics? What is there that really is the best part of going to class every day for you? Those things are going to be what helps steer you in the direction of what you're going to be doing long term. If you love communicating, social media could be a great option in advertising and marketing. If literature and the classics and analyzing all of those things is really what gets you, going into academics or writing could be a great path for you. And the next thing is, what working conditions do you want? Once you know what you're passionate about and what's going to kind of fulfill you, figuring out what working conditions you want can help narrow things even further. Do you want to be working in a more solitary or collaborative capacity? Is there a certain time frame you want to be working? Do you want a 9-to-5 style job, or do you want something more freelance? Do you want something like teaching where there's specific hours but it's not necessarily all day, or it's not specifically 9 to 5? Are you more interested in creative writing or business writing or technical writing? Those things can also play a huge role. If you're into business or technical writing, becoming a writer in the novel, poetry, screenwriting sense isn't going to be for you. But being a freelancer or doing copywriting or editing, those can be great options. Do you have a geographic location preference? There are certain locations that can be good for certain types of writing in certain industries. So if you want to be a political journalist, guess what? Are you cool being in DC? Is there an industry or niche that you're passionate about? You can look at, and especially when it comes to something like journalism, is there a type of writing you want to do? Now, when it comes to being a writer in the novel or screenwriting sense, for example, when it comes to creative writing, if there's a niche or an industry you're passionate about, you can kind of write a lot about that. But when you're looking at journalism or copywriting or being a freelancer, you can kind of set yourself up in that industry or niche and surround yourself with it. And finally, remember that you're not stuck. If you choose something now, you don't have to stick with it for the rest of your life, and you can adjust and pivot and change what you're doing. You don't have to stick to what you decide today for the rest of your life. So don't put that much pressure on it. Do what feels exciting and interesting and see what happens next. I hope that this video was helpful for you. I know that it can be really hard to figure out where you want to narrow down your passions and move forward with your career and your life. And especially as a college student, it can feel really overwhelming having that decision weighing you down. So I hope you can remember that it's all gonna work out. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up so I know that I'm making the kind of content you want to see. Make sure you answer the question that I asked at the beginning of this video in the comment section. And if you're not subscribed already, make sure you do that and press the notification bell so you don't miss any of my new videos I post every single week. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week. Bye.